The Atlantic International Film Festival wrapped up recently, and one of the films that was part of the event was Stolen Time. Very pleased to be joined by Helene Klodawsky. Helene, what can you tell us about this powerful film, Stolen Time?
Thanks so much for having me, Scott. Well, Stolen Time is a film about a young elder rights lawyer who's representing hundreds of families against for-profit elder corporations. So specifically, that's retirement homes and nursing homes that are parts of chains, corporate chains, who take care of our loved ones, our spouses, our sisters, our brothers, and our parents. So in terms of Melissa, her practice defends families against negligence in nursing homes.
How did you end up discovering or finding Melissa Miller to get to the point where you wanted to make this film?
Good question. I would say over my career of almost 40 years making documentaries, sometimes I'm just like sent a message from the universe. And in a way, that's what happened with this film. I've always been interested in subjects related to care, like vulnerability versus strength. And because we all need care at different points of our lives, who takes care and is that care valued? So that's my kind of thing. But really, I was going through just YouTube, as many of us do. It was just at the beginning of the pandemic, and I saw a clip with Melissa Miller, and I knew nothing about her, but the clip was just so powerful to me because I saw her really speaking up for families who want to care, who want to have good care for their loved ones. And I was hooked. And I was very, I guess, cocky in my next move because I just called Melissa Miller. I gave her a cold call and I said, "Do you want to be in a film?" That was before I had any funding from my producers. And she said, "I've got to check it out with my senior partners, but yes." So that's really how the film began. But it was really with the support of my producer, Ina Fitchman, and then the National Film Board with Ariel Nasser, that we were able to go forward with this particular film.
The trailer is powerful, and there's one part of the trailer where it's talking about, what's going on, and it shows an elderly person, but then it shows a couple of photographs that take you back in time and shows this person when they were younger. Hey, this was once a young person, vibrant with their whole lives ahead of them. Why should they be any less important now? What was this process like for you? And what were a couple of things that you maybe discovered along this journey of making the film, which, as we talked before, off camera, took you about 4 years. But what did you kind of learn?
I learned so many things, Scott. I think when I met Melissa, she was just beginning, well, it was almost a year into these mass legal challenges against corporate care, because she had literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of families complaining about the same corporations. And so I learned that that many people have unfortunate experiences, not all, for sure, not all, but many families have unfortunate experiences when their loved ones are in long-term care. And just like Melissa, I was asking why. And there's a lot of financial underpinnings to what is going wrong. Perhaps you've heard the saying, the conditions of work are the conditions of care. And that's something that I really saw firsthand with the people that work in the system and their feelings of being unable to give the care, the kind of care that they want, because the conditions of work just don't lend themselves. So I saw all kinds of relationships between families and the entities that run these corporations, and between the residents that are sometimes so needy and feel like they're victims of the system, and the workers who kind of feel the same way. So, along with Melissa, who through this film, we really take the viewer on a journey of discovery. And I was one of those participants in understanding what this journey means for all of us, because I think, ideally, we all want to age, hopefully, with dignity and surrounded by good care. And Melissa's, I think her call for justice is that this is something that we deserve and that we have to fight to achieve.
There's a lot of cultures where the elders or the elderly are held in reverence and are really respected to a great degree and are looked after. This may be a tough one for you to answer, but did you get a sense over the course of making this film and getting to know Melissa and looking at the process that perhaps why there doesn't seem to be that same level of respect and reverence for our elders, here in North America and Canada? Again, not all would feel this way, but overall, there just doesn't seem to be that reverence and that respect for the elderly. Can you or did you get some sense of that? And what are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts are that individual families, all the families that came, that appear in the film, for example, they're really speaking out because of issues of justice and because they love their elders. So in a way, I found that same kind of reverence. People want to keep their elders independent as long as they can, but it because of things like dementia, because of falls, because of illness, not everyone is able to care at home. Even though they really might want to, the system isn't set up for that. So contrary to what you're saying is there is reverence here, but the system isn't working for us. There are many people that want to deliver good care. There are many families that want to love their elders, with all that kind of respect. But because, for example, of for-profit elder care, it's not always possible. We really have to look at the systemic problems in our society, to I think be able to revere our elders as we see other countries doing so.
As this film is viewed and audiences get a chance to watch it and take in what they're seeing, what would you like audiences to take away when the end credits roll?
That's a great question, Scott, because again, what I learned through Melissa, who's a very, very inspiring character, is that knowledge is power. And with numbers, with collective action, we can change things, we can challenge things. So even though this film, is difficult, it's a serious crisis in Canada and elsewhere around the world, that elder care is and long-term care is in crisis. But I think with Melissa, who even sees herself as a David versus Goliath, there is hope, there is room to change. And I hope this film is like a call to action. We had viewers in the audience, in Halifax, actually, who said, at last we have a film that we can really work with to change people's minds. And so families don't feel that they're just living this on their own, but there needs to be a collective call to action. And I think it's a very motivating film and an inspiring film that we can make a difference.
Seeing it at festivals is a great way to see a film like this. But as we move now, weeks and months beyond the Atlantic International Film Festival and others, where will people be able to find this film and watch it?
Well, the National Film Board of Canada, which is a distributor of the film in Canada, will be creating a great outreach approach with this film. So in time, not only will it be on some television stations, people will be able to access it online. In theaters, there's going to be a limited theatrical release. I think it's a great way to bring people together to talk about these issues that are so much on our mind and so present in each of our lives.
Well, Helene, I really thank you for your time. I know you're a transplanted Torontonian, now living in my favorite city, Montreal. I don't know if you like smoked meat sandwiches or not, but if you have a chance and you can get one at Reuben's, have one and think of me.
I will. I could maybe mail you one in the mail, you know?
You know what? I would be okay with that. I'd just pop it in the microwave and heat it up, and away I would go.
I'll keep it in mind.
Well, again, Helene, thank you so much. It's a powerful film. We really appreciate your time, and I would certainly encourage people to find it and to watch it. Stolen Time from Helene Klodawsky. Again, thank you and continued success.
Thank you so much. It will be in theaters again in Halifax later next year. You'll be able to find it.
We'll
Thanks.
look forward to it.
Great.